Offensively, and they just pounced. They took advantage of every opportunity. They moved the ball well, and like I said, you make 5-6 threes in a row in the fourth quarter. Then that's tough to overcome. So, we'll watch the tape and learn from it and see what we can do better. My gut reaction, just what I just witnessed, was they just came in, played a hell of a fourth quarter, and you got to give them credit. And it's pretty much as simple as that.
I guess that's what you tell yourself, right? It was a hell of a 12 minutes, and we were better for 36, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing you have to say. I mean, I don't think you can actually say anything else. They're proven champs. He's been here before. They're back against the wall. I don't know if that's the terminology to use right now, back against the wall, but they did lose home court advantage. So, as the Golden State, you're going to look at this. Fourth quarter came, we let it slip. How can we get better?
I mean, they outscored Boston by 14 in the fourth, but you never see that fourth quarter coming. All right, we're going to welcome in Stephen A. Smith now, who joins us live. Stephen A., I have Mr. 94 Feet, Pat Beverly, with me here, and we've just been watching.
Wild sweater.
We just watched that fourth quarter. We just heard Steve Kerr describe it as a hell of a fourth quarter. It won him the game. You were there in the building. I just wonder, how do you describe, Stephen A., how it changed as Boston hit 10 straight shots and made 9 of the first 11 threes they took in the fourth?
I think the appropriate word is scary. You talk about styles making fights. The Boston Celtics know they're bigger. They know that they're more physical. But think about what transpired here in Game 1. Steph Curry explodes, 6 threes and 21 points in the first quarter. They hold him to 13 points the rest of the game. Klay Thompson, a relatively pedestrian 6 of 14 shooting, finishes with 15 points. Couldn't really get off all night. Jordan Poole, absolutely awful in his first finals game. 2 for 7 shooting from the field, 9 points for the game. No factor offensively whatsoever. Was frustrated all night long. And the Boston Celtics went on a 17-0 run and outscored the Golden State Warriors on the Warriors' turf, 40-16 in the fourth quarter, with Jason Tatum being a facilitator, having 13 assists, but clearly not on his game offensively in terms of shooting the ball. And they still won because of Horford shooting, because of Derek White shooting, because of Marcus Smart shooting. And Jaylen Brown was unstoppable, which is a bad sign, because somebody in the past named Klay Thompson used to be able to at least help contain somebody of that magnitude. Wasn't able to do that tonight. Styles make fights, and the Boston Celtics showed, they are the team to be reckoned with. They are no joke.
No doubt. And it's as you're talking, Stephen A., Pat and I, we both got the box score here, and I'm always interested in what you guys are looking at, right? I see you guys when the press conference, you're looking at the box. What I circle, Stephen A., is this: Boston wins by a dozen in a game where Jason Tatum goes 3 of 17 from the floor. Right. I get that Steve Kerr is going to frame this as a fourth quarter, because that's what it was. But Boston can say, hey, we just won Game 1, and our superstar had the worst game he's going to have. He's not going to have a game that bad. That has to bode well for Boston.
Yeah, of course it bodes well for Boston, because it shows that they've got some depth, and these are guys that are capable of responding. But if Jason Tatum had gotten going, then probably in all likelihood a Derek White or Al Horford or somebody would not have done it. The key thing is that you couldn't stop Jaylen Brown. And if you can't stop Jaylen Brown, somebody else on Boston is going to get off. That's the key here. They seem too big. They seemed too physical, and obviously they were more than capable of making shots. 9 threes in the fourth quarter. The Golden State Warriors made 7 shots in the entire fourth quarter. This is a very, very bad sign. The series is far from over, but I'll be redundant here. Styles make fights, and the Golden State Warriors, after one game, still look like they are in some serious trouble.
And Stephen A., I'm going to ask Pat now, because we're both looking at this box score. I circled that number, and that's what stood out to me. I'm interested in what it is you look at in a box score, and if there's something that jumps out other than that final fourth quarter and what Boston did. Is there something that jumps out to you?
Field goal percentage, I always pay attention to. I'm sorry, Pat. Go ahead.
No. Don't ever apologize, Steve-O. Don't ever apologize. But I'm going to bring up the person who played the second most minutes in the fourth quarter, Draymond Green. Obviously, he's been playing well throughout the playoffs, coming back from an injury. But tonight, you see in the fourth quarter, 2 turnovers, 3 fouls.
Right.
1 of 2. Obviously, we're not looking for him to score 30 points, but his job is to impact winning, and his job is to impact winning at an elite level, especially when winning time is. So
go ahead, Stephen A.
He didn't come up tonight.
One of the things I noticed just being in the arena, and Bev can appreciate this because of the tenacious defender he is, the professional pest that he is, you can sense blood like sharks in blood-infested waters. The Golden State Warriors had their hands on their hips. In the first quarter, they looked gassed. And when you think about that, what's the excuse for that? You had about a week off. That's not enough of an excuse. The reality of the situation is Steph, Clay, and Draymond are all in their 30s. You got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, neither are older than 25 years of age. You're looking at the Derek Whites and others of the world getting physical, being in their face, and purposefully wearing them down. If that is the strategy, that even though he's a first-year coach as a head coach, Ime Udoka has been in championship games as an assistant. He understands what it takes, which is something he reminded folks of coming into this NBA Finals. We got to take all of that into consideration and look at the Golden State Warriors, and to me it comes down to this. Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole have got to step up. Otto Porter, Andre Iguodala, all made good contributions. But those two, Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole, have got to step up in order for the Golden State Warriors to win this series. The stats don't need to tell me that, but it did tonight.
Stephen A., appreciate you. We'll get back with you at some point, I believe, on ESPN. If not, I as always, appreciate your time. Pat, sit tight with us here. You're talking about Ime Udoka. Let's hear from the Celtics coach after they get game one with that massive fourth quarter.
We've talked about it throughout the year, and I've talked to him at length about impacting the game when he's not having his best offensive night. And so did that tonight. You know, obviously going 3 for 17. That's usually not going to happen, but what he did well and did early was get others involved. 7 or 9 assists pretty early in the game, finished with 13. And the shot's not falling. He still attracts a good amount of attention, made the right plays. And I love his growth and progression in those areas where he's still guarding on the defensive end, still getting others involved, not pouting about his shots and trying to play through some mistakes and some physicality that they were playing with him. So when they went in the boxing one on him to try to take him out, made it tough at times, but that's why we're a team. We don't rely on one guy, and you saw others step up tonight.
Fourth row, Tim Bontemps.
Ime, you've talked a bunch of these playoffs about your guys' struggles in the third quarter. Golden State's obviously historically great in those quarters. What allowed them to get going there, and then conversely, what caused everything to flip the other way again in the fourth?
Offensive rebounds to start the quarter, turnovers to start the quarter. We didn't have an extremely high number, only finished with 13, but started the quarter off poorly in that area. We hadn't played our best by any stretch of the imagination in the first half, and to only be down 4, we felt we were in decent shape, knowing they come out playing hard in the third.
Did finish off the Lakers in 5. Pat Beverly's in the building, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us.
Thanks for having me, Scott.
All right, so the highlights are the highlights, but you can take me between the lines and help understand and give context to what we just saw. This Celtics team, never been on this stage. Home team's familiar with it. They got the grease hot, right? The third quarter, they get up by double digits. What happened in the fourth quarter?
I think confidence. You got to give the coach you got to give him a lot of credit.
What specifically do you like that he did?
He didn't ride Marcus Smart a lot, and we've seen that. They were able to keep the ball in Derek White's hand. Derek White was making not only shots, but he was getting in the paint, putting a lot of pressure on Golden State, forcing Steph to guard, easy kickouts. I think Jaylen Brown, obviously Tatum didn't have the game we thought Tatum was going to have.
Didn't have to.
Yeah, but Jaylen Brown just took it and was very patient, attack when he wanted to attack. Obviously, he likes to go right. He went right a lot tonight. You have to give it Boston Celtics a lot of credit. They played extremely well tonight.
Well, and I mean, you speak of confidence, and I think you see it happen in a game, but I mean, this stage, right? This is it's a finals game, and this Boston team is, as a group, this is the first game they've ever been in this spot. But when the buckets, when it starts going in like that, right, and you see the confidence start to grow, what happens?
You just feed off of, right? I remember we played Golden State. I don't know, game 1 or 2, we were down 31 in the third, and we just kept chopping, and next thing you know, we lead the game with a win. So, it's a shocker to me. It's really a shocker to me. I had Golden State, obviously, because they're the home court advantage, and obviously because they're Golden State, but you have to give Boston a lot of credit. They played extremely well tonight.
Al Horford is a guy that, we were joking about, like, he's not as old as Iguodala, but he's the old head. He's the vet on that squad.
Yeah.
He has the most experience of the group. And his ability to provide a game like this, the three-point shooting in the fourth, 26 and 6, we know Tatum and Brown are the guys. But what kind of luxury is it to have that type of experience and that type of capable scoring in someone in Horford for Boston?
And I just think to add to that, not even like a proven winner too. He's done it on levels. He's done it in college.